This isn't a typical range day. Like, it's almost impossible now for me to go to just a regular range to like go shoot at a target. I'm like, that are actually out there.
The shit that he just said gets me really freaking fired up. I just want to shoot with people that are going to push me.
This was really just about creating a club to give people a place to come to shoot.
It makes me so freaking stoked to actually have a group that's not a bunch of wackos. We're not spouting about conspiracy theories like a lot.
Maybe a little.
This is kind of like an intimidating thing, I think, for a lot of people.
At the end of the day, it's guys just getting together, grinding out skills that like we feel are important to us.
But it's not just guys either. We've had plenty of girls come out and shoot with us as well. We really want to be kind of open to everybody. A gathering of like-minded people, from people very beginning to people who are, you know, A-class
grandmasters,
shooters. Yeah, we look forward to building the
These don't happen by accident. They're built intentionally. This is human built. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's kind of like a really interesting thing that you guys, I think, that you're doing in the field of firearms and tactical training and things like that. So I'm excited to kind of bring that to our audience, but also for me to learn more about your guys' businesses as well. So I kind of wanted to start with background. I know, Cam, you can kind of start, you're a veteran, so tell me, there's that, and what else?
Well, so I'm Cameron Cocker. I did 4 years in the Marine Corps as an artillery Marine. I was also a combat marksman's coach during my time in the Marine Corps. Once I got out, I went through the EMT route and then also became a concealed carry instructor for the USCCA, United States Concealed Carry Association. So training firearms, teaching firearms, whole nine yards has evolved throughout the time, but it's always been a huge passion of mine. Even though it's not exactly like, it's a very niche avenue, right? I mean, we both know it's very, very niche, but especially for what Tyler and I do. But it's something that we feel is passionate for the people that feel that is a necessary avenue to train for.
Tyler, background?
Cool. Yeah, so no law enforcement or military background for me. Grew up interested in firearms, and probably, I think it was right around COVID, just before, I was living in Washington State, and saw the writing on the wall and decided it was probably time to get a rifle. And that just snowballed into collecting more and more firearms. And as I started to buy guns, like I think most new people to firearms do, it's always what's the next thing that I need to buy. I started to kind of shift and was like, okay, I have these tools now, like how do I actually use them? And so I joined a gun club in Washington and started shooting myself just in a bay and, you know, plinking with my rifles and handguns. That then turned into, after I moved down here, trying to find other people to shoot with. We kind of ended up meeting actually on Instagram through another mutual buddy of ours, and decided to kind of form this Cactus Patch Kids, which shout out to Las Vegas Gun Club, because they were actually kind of the inspiration for Cactus Patch Kids.
Those guys are also pretty freaking dope.
Yeah, definitely check them out. Las Vegas Gun Club, they're good dudes. But I went and did a session with them in Vegas and was pretty inspired, came back, and Ian and I were talking to Cam and decided that this was something that we wanted to try to replicate and put together here.
And we decided that actually in the desert. So we were like just dudes, excuse my language, dicking around in the desert.
Right.
And we were like, you know what, this could actually be like a really fun thing if we just, staged it as like a casual range environment where we obviously do, train to get our heart rates moving, train to grind out our skills. But at the end of the day, it's just like a friendly banter, friendly competition.
And I think for me too, because I'd gotten into competition shooting, so USPSA and IDPA, and just to get reps with the gun that I carry all the time. So I always shoot from concealed in every competition that I can. And I think that a lot of new shooters, I think competitions are a great way to get reps and under stress. But it can be intimidating to show up at a range when you don't know anybody and you don't know protocols, you don't know how it works. And so that was kind of some of our dream with this was a bridge between, all tactical shooting or just showing up at a competition so that we can kind of help bring beginners along and introduce them to kind of all of these concepts, tactical shooting, competition shooting, and the like.
Right.
Right. So just to kind of be clear, because I didn't actually know this, that you guys are two separate entities in a way. Cocker Concepts is kind of like your more personal, like firearm training, and then you guys, as the Cactus Patch Kids, you guys are like a community essentially, or how does that work?
Shooting club, shooting community, however you want to call it. So how my official title for Cactus Patch Kids is I am the head coordinator, and Tyler is the owner and operator.
Okay.
Right? So yes, Cocker Concepts, everything is, you sign up for a range day on Cocker Concepts website. You get training from me or Tyler, who is in a Cocker Concepts affiliate, just because like nowadays, Tyler is my baseline for pistol skills, right? And I mean, he was literally just saying, he does every comp from concealed, right? No one does that at a USPSA match. It's ridiculous.
Right.
So
it's getting much more popular thanks to people like Hunter Constantine and Belt.
Yeah, those guys for sure. Hunter, answer for your crimes. I mean, I thought I was hot shit coming out of the Marine Corps with like my skills. And you know, it's funny that you probably kind of noticed this too, is like the things that you were taught prior to us getting together and shooting, right? You thought probably like you knew a fairly good amount of skills when it comes to pistol skills, rifle skills, shotgun skills, whatever. Even me getting into the whole USCCA spectrum, getting into just straight up pistol skills, because in the Marine Corps, they basically do death by PowerPoint, and then they basically say, all right, good, go qualify. Right? And so I'm like, this 20-year-old kid being like, okay, big ass circle target, probably as big as these, light fixtures, at 10 yards, obviously I'm gonna do pretty freaking decent. And it's still amazing that dudes still get, the lowest possible qualifying for it, which is a pizza box. But I honestly didn't get good at pistol skills until I got out of the Marine Corps and started really grinding out with like other instructors, like Inner Circle Protection. Those guys are out of Tombstone Tactical. Those guys are freaking rock stars as well. All prior service and current SWAT. And then like guys like Tyler, like I said earlier, Tyler's my baseline. So anytime we're at the range together, I'm like, I am beating you today, dude. Like your ass is mine.
And I'm solid.
Right? And I'm running from a belt. Like I got a belt. He's doing it from concealed, so I'm still a bitch.
Yeah, I love the competitive nature kind of when I'm out there with you guys. I mean, it's always, I think that's an element of range day that is just not really there when you're out at a regular range day shooting at a regular target. And I think that kind of makes it a very special experience.
We wanted to give a way to kind of measure baseline and performance over time. So really kind of the only way that you can do that, I mean, it's low pressure, low stress, but the only way that you can do that is kind of competition, like we push each other to be better, and everybody that comes out, I think, learns or is able to teach something. And it's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. And I think the other aspect of you can come out of something being really good at it, but you're never truly going to master that craft, especially when there's so many variables in every single firearm. There's just so much to actually change. And then obviously something that you've taught me has been like you have to train with what you're going to use. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a big deal.
That's why a lot of us, like what Tyler was saying earlier, are like, now you're competing from the concealed, right? So you're actually starting with a handicap, right? But if that's how you choose to carry, like, nobody's going to be rocking a belt with a duty holster unless you're a freaking cop,
duty,
right?
yeah,
Unless you're a freaking cop.
Right.
In just the general public area, right? And especially us now being dads, well, excuse me, all three of us being dads. Well, you got a freaking teenager, but us being new
it's
parents.
different. It doesn't matter.
It's like,
Yeah, it's all news now. He can take care of himself.
Okay. I feel a stronger call to like have a better situational awareness, not only to carry around more safely because I have children, but to be more situational aware because of, just the day and age we live in, right? There's too much weirdos around nowadays, even in, Cave Creek, which is a great cowboy town.
Right.
Right.
So I think that maybe we might have jumped the gun just a touch. Like, what I think a good idea would be to explain what is it that you guys actually do to somebody that has no idea what we're talking about right now. So explain like what a range day with Cactus Patch Kids looks like.
So we try to mix it up, and so every range day is different. We have a handful of baseline skills that we rotate through pretty regularly to test any number of different firearm skills. Sometimes it's rifle, sometimes it's pistol.
Sometimes it's both.
Yeah, sometimes it's both. But I think the goal, or what our normal range day is kind of a gathering of like-minded people, trying to collect people like us that we get along with that want to get better at shooting. And so it's kind of a myriad of skill levels. From people very beginning to people who are, well into, A-class
grandmasters,
shooters.
Right.
And so but it's that bridge. So you show up, and we always run through our safety briefing. Cam's a pro and probably has it memorized, recited in his sleep.
I know where all the shitters are.
Yeah. And the first aid kits.
Well, we have them on us, but still.
Yeah. And so then we'll usually run through a warm-up based on the skills that we're trying to work on that day. And so pistol, rifle, a handful of drills, try to keep it like a relatively minimum round count on the warm-ups, and then transition into kind of whatever the main skill of the day is going to be, and whether that's distance shooting, working on barricade stuff around a ladder or our VTAC boards, pistol stuff. We have a handful of stages that we kind of set up and run through. And then usually at the end, we do end with some more fun,
head-to-head kind of stuff,
yes,
right?
Where we do then push each other and go.
Yeah, the big one that's been real popular is going to be our King of the Hill, basically where you got two guys going head-to-head, and whoever is the king obviously stays the king, and whoever is trying to beat the king, if you don't, you got to pay for it. So you got to do
sprint,
push up, do
squats.
Whatever, right? You got to pay for it.
I've been there. I have done it.
He knows plenty. The thing we're kind of like tiptoeing around though is like once you get into like actually taking firearm training seriously, the more you steer away from just like sitting at a flat range, sitting especially at like a public range and just like pissing a couple rounds away, right? Dialing in your gun, basically zeroing. Like you're just, most of the time you're always just zeroing or shooting into trash, right? So we thought that let's make a super cheap, super friendly environment, right? It's literally $20 for, on average, 4 hours. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. And we are going to grind out skills with still a relatively low round count. And truly, like, bring 100 rounds, bring 50 rounds. It's literally your reps, right? So you can take them as seriously or as loosely as you want, right? We got guys that come that are grandmasters or A-class or master class shooters and like top tier, right? When it comes to classification systems. And they're like, working with other guys, basically they're kind of either taking it super seriously because they're getting ready for a legit match, or they're just dicking around. They just want to hang out with some dudes that are like-minded and take like a little bit of fitness and a little bit of guns seriously. Yeah. So that's really like the bridge we're trying to make is, steering away from just pissing ammo away, especially nowadays when ammo prices are still hiking up.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point too, Cam, which is also something interesting that we do. So we do the Cactus Patch range days a couple times a month. But then usually in addition to those couple of range days that we'll do, and we 99% of the time we're shooting out of Ben Avery up here. But we will do typically once a month, at least, maybe not in the summer because it's really hot, or we'll do it really early.
But
we also like to do
out there.
we like to do rifle rucks too. So that's another thing that we kind of started to do, and actually have collected a pretty solid following with that as well. It's typically 5 miles with a third of your body weight in a pack. Rifles will show up to the shooting spot and run a drill cold, after warming up physically. So think, karaoke's and Heine's. Get limber.
Even like a football warm-up stretch, right?
Right.
Run a drill, do the hike, come back and run it again tired. And see kind of what that stress puts on your body. So those are also fun events.
I think the emphasis here is that this isn't a typical range day. Most people are used to going to the range and shooting at a target, and that's about it. And that's what I love about it's almost impossible now for me to go to the range, just a regular range, to go shoot at a target. I'm like, okay,
See,
why did I do when I know that you guys are there, and the amount of not only the knowledge, the experience, but the fun, and then also the exposure to your guys' caliber, that the caliber of riflemen, that are actually out there.
The shit that he just said gets me really freaking fired up. Is the fact that he is Alex, average Joe, did not start shooting until I basically dragged him to the range, right, for promoting Cocker Concepts. And now he's like, I don't want to piss ammo away. I want to shoot at a flat range. I know I can do better. I know I should be training better.
That was part of our...
And that shit gets me all kinds of fucking... Thank you for saying that.
That was the...
Is it weird to be hard right now?
That was the idea. Half chub.
You said it's not a family show, right?
That was the idea though, because so many people will go to the range and you stand in one place, you don't ever draw your gun, you just load it and unload it on a bench, and you shoot at a target 15 feet away and try to, print a not pretty hole in your target. In the real world, and not that I obviously don't have experience drawing my gun or shooting in the real world, but if you are carrying a gun, you should have some experience with shooting and moving. And doing that dynamically, so that, because in the real world, it's never going to be, okay, hold on a second, let me grab my gun and all right, stand there and get my perfect sight picture.
Under pressure.
I don't have one in the chamber, so let me do that real quick first.
And so it was really a way to get people who would not have the courage maybe initially to go just shoot a competition, but to get them moving and comfortable with that safely.
Get their brains working.
Safely is a big one.
The safety is a huge piece too.
So that's actually one of my favorite, I think, points about a range day with you guys, is that sometimes, you'll do scenario-based situations and try and replicate. I don't necessarily want to talk about which situations that you have replicated, but we try.
You talking like up at work?
No, just in general, when we're out.
I thought it was going to be
no, that was a scenario, wasn't it? I'm talking about recreating real life scenarios with the time and things like that, active shooter scenarios and things like that, that you've done in the past. That to me, that was always very now this is very interesting, right? You're putting in rifle concepts and time, trying to do things that people actually did in a real life scenario. And I think that that's always been kind of something that really intrigued me every single time that we had a range day, that you guys did that. And then also the competition side of that as well. Who can actually do this stuff when, some of those active shooter situations, recreating them, it's actually unbelievable the courage, not, under pressure, but then also being able to be accurate and those things as well.
Yeah, like the Eli Dickinson drill, or that we did
40 yards with
40 yards
11
with,
seconds.
Yeah, and with a handgun, a Glock
stock,
19,
like no, just irons.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a handful. Because we somewhat emulate that. We do 50 yards with pistol for our pistol assessment, and you're doing 2 standing, 2 kneeling, 2 in the prone.
Right.
And man, you want to talk about even with an optic, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
But like that kind of goes into a really good aspect that people hate about our range events is I'm a huge proponent because of like other instructors really harping on par times, right?
What is that?
Like where you're adding that beep at the end where it's basically saying, timer goes off, that's when you start, right? You draw, put, however many rounds into a target at whatever distance you got, and then you better do that within the par time, or else, you could simulate, okay, good, guess what, you're fucking dead. Or, every shot over par, if this is like a competitive scenario, every shot over par is going to be negative points counting against
penalty.
you. Right.
And typically we do mix that up with some physical challenge as well. Where
everybody doesn't like par times, but I really like par times because it's like it's holding you to a higher standard of shooting.
Right. So with those like realistic scenarios, and then you have those par times, and that's just kind of like putting you under stress, right? Like there's some sort of pressure inside of that you need to get this, you need to be timely with your reaction. So with that, what does that good training like mean to you guys? Like in a realistic or in a real world situation, what does that training and practice mean to you, like on a daily basis?
So I'll take over this one if that's okay. So for me, man, it's gonna be, I'm sure you've heard the phrase before, like ounces equal pound, pounds equal pain, right? Same thing goes with seconds and microseconds, right? So throughout my years of teaching, what I've come to find is like very controlled, very like, what I should say is like reassuring micro injections of stress is going to benefit you as a shooter in the long run. I 100% promise you that, right? You may be uncomfortable with it at first, right? I've dealt with, young kids that have just bought their first gun. I've dealt with old guys, old ladies that have, never shot a gun before in their life, and they're in their 70s or 80s shooting for the first time, right? So now we have to also tackle like arthritis. Adding those like little micro injections of stress is going to really benefit you as a shooter, because it's going to start showing you like, okay, I can train to a better standard. Literally just like what you were just saying is like, I know I can train better. I'm just choosing not to, right? And it's kind of making me upset that I'm not doing it to the higher standard I can be, right? So like that's the kind of coolest part for me is like getting to the point now where people are starting to not only recognize what they're doing wrong with their skills, their fundamentals, right? So, you've done it before, we all do it before, where, we're going to break a shot, say with rifle, right? And just before that shot breaks, I jerk the trigger, take a big deep breath, and I exhale in the wrong point of my natural breathing pattern. Or I just do a little bit extra into my shoulder, whatever, right? You throw that shot and fuck, I fucked that one up, right? But guess what you just did? You recognize what you did was wrong, right? So me as an instructor, and Tyler's seen this before too, once people get that, oh, I got it moment, holy crap, it's like freaking crack cocaine, dude, because now I get to do my job a hell of a lot easier.
And that's what's exciting about shooting with you is that like you could literally, and it's funny, you could literally look at my target and you're like, you did this. Oh, you breathed too much there. Oh, you pulled it this way.
I'm not even looking at the target. I'm looking at you.
Yeah, while you're shooting. Yeah, that's the more important thing.
Right? So I know what the target's gonna have just by watching, like say pistol, right? With what your hands are doing, right? Or like how your body's positioned, right? Tyler's heard this before. I'm a huge proponent on like structural support, right? If you have good body mechanics, it's going to basically propel you to be a good marksman in the long run. Like you don't have to try as hard.
All of the firearms that we're shooting, and that anybody that comes to our classes shoots, man, they're all better than we are. So like the firearm itself will hit the target, and it's accurate. Like it's all your inputs into the firearm that matter. So Cam's saying, structural support behind the firearm. If you can build the right structure, whether that's grip with your hands on a pistol or 3-point grip or whatever with a rifle. You build those points of contact, and the key is to do that repeatedly.
Right.
So that's where the reps come in, and either come training with us, dry fire practice, whatever it is, but it's reps behind that so that it's automatic. And
Right.
that's what kind of the time standards and stuff for me help force, and I think, and reinforce, is good behavior and habits under stress. And so if you're constantly doing that, then, then you can start to focus on other things like, well, where should I be moving to? Or when should I reload? And because that your fundamentals in how you handle your firearm are sound.
Yeah,
Right.
and the cool part about our thing is it's not a match, right? You're not,
not
waiting 30
don't
minutes
actually
to shoot
lose
for
either.
10 seconds, right?
Right.
You can go through a stage that we just set up, right? We're all setting it up together because we're all pitching in. And then you go through a stage, you're like, oh, I could have done this better, could have done this better. So you just go through it again,
yeah.
right? Grind it out. That's the whole point, is grinding out these skills.
So there is a, just like going to the gym, right? There's a discipline to this.
Absolutely.
We need to continue on. Like I absolutely despise the fact every time I come out, sometimes I'd have a really good range, and I would consider myself not a decent shooter, but it feels like I'm almost relearning things sometimes when I come out with you guys.
Well, they do say, there's it's like famous data or whatever, it's like 21 days to lose a skill or a habit or whatever. And so it's like if you can ensure that you're shooting, or I don't think it's the same with lifting in the gym, like once every couple of weeks isn't going to do it for you for progress long term.
Right.
But if you can maintain that, where you're shooting regularly every couple of weeks, every week, once a week, you'll maintain those skills. And then if that's within that 21 days, then you build skill on top of that, as opposed to just like coming back up to baseline every time.
Yeah,
And
something
so-
I like to say is like firearms is an extremely perishable skill.
Yeah.
Right? Because literally hand shot pistol in 2 weeks, and we went to a USPSA match on last Thursday, and I don't think I've ever shot worse.
Yeah.
Right? I was probably like a C-class shooter that day. I was bad.
Jeez.
Worse than that.
I am a C-class shooter, so but I actually did pretty good. I'd taken like a month off or whatever. I haven't been shooting as much
I'm doing
as,
great
as
today.
I
Really?
would like
I
to either.
fucking suck
But
at today.
I did pretty good last Thursday.
So what do you say to, this is kind of like an intimidating thing, I think, for a lot of people. Like, I think that there would be a lot more people interested in doing your guys' classes and being a part of your club if it didn't feel so intimidating. So what's kind of the messaging that you guys are trying to portray? And I don't really know what you guys are doing for marketing. I'm not a part of that. But is there something that you guys try and do to help people like entry-level people get into this kind of training? And
So I think we are not the best at marketing, and I'll own a lot of that as well.
A lot of our social media is like dick jokes.
Yeah, and clips that we record at range day, and we don't really push it until
it's going to be
there's-
like a lot of Tyler's ass.
right.
that my ass does make quite an appearance on our social media pages, I guess.
For some reason.
Yeah, it's always there.
But kind of like what I was talking about earlier, right? Like, you go through a stage and you're going to hear one of two things. You're going to hear somebody say like, oh, dude, that was sick, or, hey, nice job, dumbass, right? Like, our community, yes, we are a bunch of dudes. Like, the funniest thing for us is like fart and dick jokes, right? But at the end of the day, it's guys just getting together. We're grinding out skills that we feel are important to us, whether you're in a concealed carry mindset, tactical, or a lot of it's going to be competitive shooting, right? Because a competitive kind of umbrellas into all of that.
And to tag onto that too, I want to say that it's important, at least in our mission and our vision, that it's not just guys either. We've had plenty of
chicks.
girls come out and shoot with us as well. We really want to be kind of open to everybody, and that bridge for new shooters to come get some exposure to the community, to other businesses, because most of the people that come out and shoot with us are somehow tangentially involved in the firearm community as well.
Right.
And so there's a lot of it's valuable networking. We are nice guys, I feel like. It's not I don't think our environment at our range days, and I think we try hard to not make it intimidating for people. We want to be open
We've
and
got
welcoming
people
and have
from
fun.
all backgrounds, right? And like me, I'd consider myself like not just a Christian, but like a faithful Christian man, right? But we have all types of denominations, all types of religions, all types of backgrounds, shapes, and sizes that are regulars at our range events, right? The thing that I always tell people is if you are at all interested into getting into like tactical shooting, competitive shooting, like basically breaking the next barrier in like shooting skills, just show up. Just show up. If you don't like it, that's fine. I'll give you your money back. I've given people their money back before because they've been like, I need to build up to this, right? Because like, yes, we do want more people, but like a lot of it is going to be starting at like an intermediate level. Right? Unless it's like a ruck, a ruck would be easy, just, we're just throwing a couple rifle rounds down range at some steel and then doing a ruck, right? But then you do have to have a certain level of physical endurance. But even with that being said, all types of shapes and sizes. Yeah. You've done a ruck with us. We got guys.
What are you trying to say?
No, okay. Listen, guy. Why am I the one that's making all the stupid jokes today? Usually him. We've got, old guys like him. We've got even older guys like Brian.
I am an old man.
Everyone calls Brian old man.
Well, yeah, Brian's in his 50s.
Yeah,
right?
And he does good.
He keeps up with everyone.
He does.
But he's another example of somebody who literally had no skills with firearms
until you sent him my way.
And he showed up and now he's out there, he's shooting competitions with us.
Yeah, I love that.
And so
he's got Gucci guns too.
Yeah, he does.
He's got like really nice ones.
Yeah, he did.
So what kind of, like, what's your community look like? What are the people that are coming to these events on a weekly or on a regular basis? What do you think their interests are? I know that we talked about like the competitions and things like that, but what other interests are your regulars? Why are they there?
Primarily competition, but I mean, we have people that come, from all types of backgrounds. A lot of it, from what I notice, is kind of like an umbrella between competitive shooting and like essentially concealed carry mindset, like how you should carry yourself or conduct yourself while carrying,
we're kind of like concealed carry.
Home defense.
Yeah, I was going to say that
it's
too.
like an umbrella
we are
term.
kind of like a lot of our stuff is geared towards that, like concealed carry plus, like not your basic concealed carry class, but getting more comfortable with the guns that you choose to carry. And I think a lot of our attendees, that's kind of a goal of theirs. But some are literally, I think, just the community because it is a fun time. And so come out, hang out, spend a few hours on the range, get outside, laugh a little, and then build some skills that are useful for you in your life, moving forward. And so
I think a lot of what we talked about so far is like, this is a fun thing to do, right?
Yeah.
This is fun. And I
like it.
I've been there.
it's like my favorite
It's fun. But I don't think I want like our viewers or listeners to actually like get the wrong idea that like we're just out there having fun in the desert, right? Like there's like a discipline inside of your training, and then there's also a responsibility from you guys to make sure that it's a safe environment and
safety's paramount.
It's structured, and so maybe speak a little bit about like that and the importance of like how do you guys handle safety on the range?
Literally, just like what I was saying just a moment ago about the Thursday match at USPSA. I hadn't shot pistol in so long because we've been having like a pretty decent turnout with our Cactus Patch matches and some of my classes in general, to the point where I'm not really like interjecting, like being on the firing line as much as range safety officering, right? I'm conducting, I'm calling out drills, I'm monitoring, making sure everybody's doing everything safely and appropriately, right? We always have somebody behind the current shooter, or if it's a line of shooters, we got at least myself, Tyler, and maybe one other dude, depending on the size of the line of fire, right? We usually like to keep like one RSO or one instructor for every 2 to 3 shooters, right? So that's like a good like happy medium, just so one, we can keep an eye on like a finite group, so we can be like, all right, Tyler's good over there, right?
We also, we keep a firing line, so nobody's walking around our range with loaded guns or, you load when you get to the line and you make ready to do the drill. And then we always check to make sure you're clear before you step away from the line.
And a lot of that gets people prepared for competitive shooting.
Yeah, because that's the protocol there as well. But it really is safety. We're also big on, the 4 universal firearm safety rules are always in play, and so we call that out in our safety briefings usually. Like your muzzle stays downrange, and that's between these corners of the bay. You break that, then we'll ask you to go home. And safety is paramount because, and we've been there, like some of our rifle rucks are not at the range.
Yeah.
And those are out in the desert, and we've run into that where we walk back up to the cars and people are swinging their gun and muzzling you when you walk up or shooting tannerite 20 feet away from you. It's wild out there. And so that's part of why we like to and put this together, was so that we could do this with our friends and the community at large in a safe environment at a range where both Cam and I are instructors through USCCA and NRA, and we both carry insurance, liability insurance, and both have training groups and LLCs that, this is a legitimate business for us, and we take safety very, very seriously.
Thank God we've never had to kick anybody off the range, but we both have had to be like, hey dude, I've probably said it to you when you were starting out, hey, maintain good muzzle awareness, right? Obviously, we're not being like, hey, dickhead, right? You just have to be, a little bit stern, a little bit direct, but still respectful.
You told us about the business and what you guys are doing inside of that and all the firearms training, and now it's the business side of things for me. And a lot of what we are discussing on this podcast is about, firstly, humanity. We're all creators. And we are all seeking purpose, and I do really truly believe that, whether that's, you guys are on the firing range and you're shooting and you're creating a community, you're a creator of a community, or some guy in a cubicle creating data reports for whatever, we're all creating something seeking purpose. So inside of that, I'm interested to hear about, what is the purpose, and you did kind of touch on this, but it's more on an entrepreneurship level of like Cactus Patch Kids and Cocker Concepts. What is your vision for that, and what is the purpose behind it?
Legitimately, initially, this was really just about creating a club and just to give people a place to come to shoot. I think that we are in a unique position where we have the opportunity to produce and create, whether that's merchandise, official training. We've started to step into hosting our own competitions, stuff like that would be potential revenue streams for us. We do have merch for sale. It's not really, we don't make it easy. You gotta pretty much ask us for it. So
it's made to order.
The business side of
Tyler's in the back sewing them.
Yeah, exactly. The business side of this, at least for Cactus Patch Kids, is still in its infancy, I think, and we're really have been hyper focused on building the community, and kind of always felt that any financial or entrepreneurial gain would come later naturally, not trying to force it and just trying to grow and see where it goes.
Literally one of our range events is $20, and that's literally covering 80% of that covers just the range fee, and then the rest goes into paper targets, wood for target stands.
You guys are crazy.
So on and so forth. What?
I'd pay $50 at least.
Ammo is only getting more expensive. Firearms is already an incredibly expensive sport. See?
Yeah, but
he's shaking his head back there.
Keep down.
No, I appreciate it. Maybe we're going to change it to be $50 now. Yeah.
Well, here's the
only thing that I would ever
valuing your guys' stuff. You guys have a lot of experience.
No, we want people to show
up.
We want people to show up that they can come to a place where they know it's not going to break their bank, right? It's
Right.
another way for them to incentivize them to actually show up, right?
Yeah.
I just want to shoot with people that are going to push me.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
right.
no, so, but on that, like, you know, we created this and set a pretty low bar for entry. $20 to come shoot for 4 hours with a set of safe range. Like, Ben Avery's a pretty cool spot. The bays are pretty awesome, and it's pretty rad that we can do almost whatever we want.
Yeah.
Now, if we had demand where every single range day we were maxing out, because honestly, you know, there's a limit to how many people would actually effectively be able to come out and have a good time at one of our events, and that's probably 20 at the high end.
At the most.
Yeah, and so if we were every single range day, 20 people were registered in the first, you know, we posted it and it filled up immediately.
Right.
Then at that point, demand would you know, suggest that we should adjust
Right.
our pricing, and not necessarily to make it more exclusive or whatever, just to like, again, the demand is there.
Right.
And so while we're only having 4, 8, 10 people show up, like, again, it's more about building the community.
Well, how
Yeah.
much is it to just go to the range and shoot targets? Isn't it like $13?
So, what do you mean?
Like
Like
at
if
Ben
you-
Avery, if you're gonna go get one of the shooting bays.
So with a user group, like the contract that we have with Ben Avery, right? We reserve a bay. Each bay has different sizes and depths, right? So the average bay that we do is going to be 50 yards wide and 100 yards in depth, right? So that bay is going to be a minimum. Is it what, like 6?
Yeah.
6 times 12,
Yeah.
right? So like the minimum cost per
5,
guest is
5.
$12.
But I'm talking about
right, 5 there.
I'm
Thank you.
talking about just without you guys.
Yeah,
like
so if you
going.
just showed up at
Yeah.
Ben Avery to go shoot, yeah, I think it's like $13. But
That's
it's like
a completely different experience.
But then you go, I mean, and so you are onto something here a little bit in that, like, if you want to go shoot for an hour at Shooter's World or C2 Tactical, it's probably is like $35
Yeah.
or $40.
Right.
And then you gotta wait in line. You gotta shoot with every other jabroni that's at the range. Dudes that also probably don't have the same respect when it comes to firearm safety. And 2, you're probably shooting at an indoor range with a dude with like a 7-inch barrel 5.56 gun,
Rattling your
rifle
fillings out of your teeth.
with a muzzle brake, just shaking you all to hell. Right?
So apologize, everybody. We may be adjusting prices here. So get in while you can for $20.
Yeah.
No.
Thank Alex.
I
thanks,
no,
Alex.
I am here to just let you know that you are undervaluing your services, is all I'm saying. Like, I think it's an
appreciate that.
incredible experience, and every single time that I get to go out, which is hardly ever, because, you know, it is what it is.
I miss my friends.
Yeah. But, you know, you guys are building something, and I respect that, you know, you're building a community, and that's also a different thing too. So there's 2 sides of that.
Part of it we look at is like giving back some too. So like, you know, while I mean, we both have day jobs and Cam isn't really talking about it like a lot in this podcast, but Cocker Concepts is his training company.
Yeah.
He offers classes across all different kinds of firearms
Right.
and levels and skills. And so he's not shorting himself there.
Right.
Like that is.
No, I use Cactus Patch to like obviously promote my own stuff
Right.
as
Yeah.
well, and then you have to sign up for Cactus Patch on my
your
website.
So you have to go through the calendar.
Every other class is
anyways,
right there.
Yeah.
Right. So
No, it makes sense. Again, I'm an advocate for my community, for people like you guys. I love that you guys are considerate of your community. I think that you guys need to continue that momentum. There's a lot of potential with that. And I think that when you guys do finally you guys both have full-time jobs outside of this, and it really is a hobby business is what I would call it right now. But like, there is a lot of opportunity, and the more effort that you put in and the more time, and there's almost a patience factor into that. You know, you're building something awesome, and I think the experience is valuable for anybody to go to the range rather than just shooting at a target. 100%. You ruined the range for me. I hate you. Go to hell.
And
No,
I
just
love
kidding.
you.
No, I do love you, and it's a great time. So anyways, with all that being said, kind of talked about those. So like, what's What's next for the season?
The next big one.
Yeah,
and this
we're
is
really stoked about.
Yeah, this is a big deal, and so Murphy's Outdoors and Arizona Shootout is Mike Murphy is a great dude and a good friend of ours, and puts on killer matches in the area. Again, like great entry-level matches. If you've never shot a match,
First match ever was Murphy's,
Yeah,
and
and
it's like
it's awesome.
the most ideal place to start if you have never gotten to competitive shooting
yeah,
before.
so definitely check him out. But we partner with him quite a bit on a number of different events. But the big one coming up this summer in July is Beat the Heat. And last year we did that at Ben Avery. And didn't beat the heat. It was still 100
surviving the heat.
Yeah, surviving the heat.
Because we decided to start it at like 5 or 6.
Something. So this year we moved it up north, and so we're doing the match, and we'll do match all day on Saturday for Beat the Heat, and then Sunday is a Cactus Patch ruck in the morning, and then
Full
range
skills
day.
assessment.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
not
On Sunday.
only is it going to be a free ruck on July 26th, which is a Sunday, that is free. Afterwards, we're just going to go straight into our CQB assessment and our pistol assessment. Those scores combined are going to put you into a roster, and the highest scoring folks, the top 3, are going to get merch, prizes, money,
Yeah,
whole 9
love it.
yards. The primary winner of the skills assessment conglomerate final accumulative match is going to get the highest award, which is going to be the biggest prick at the range.
Yeah.
Right? It's really a trophy with a fucking
Big
cactus on it.
cactus, yeah, it's awesome.
I love
So
that.
you
I
get to hold
remember
on
you
to that
talking about
trophy until next year, right? You get bragging rights for the whole
That's
year.
awesome. Okay, so where does somebody go to sign up for that?
ConquerConcepts.com.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. And if you're interested in shooting the match, I don't know if there's like the Arizona Shootout Murphy's Outdoor match on Saturday. I don't know if there's spots still available.
Wouldn't hurt to look.
You can check that out on Practice Score. If you just search for matches, Arizona Shootout, or Beat the Heat, that'll
On
come up
PracticeScore.com.
on PracticeScore.com. Then you can register for the actual match on Saturday there. Our stuff will be on Cocker Concepts.
Full weekend of shooting up in Flagstaff.
Yeah,
It's going to be freaking
it'll be nice and cool
beautiful
up
weather.
there, way better than here. So
Okay. Is there anything else that you think that you want the audience to know that we didn't discuss, man? I mean, there's a lot of really interesting aspects of what you guys are doing, and for me, I mean, again, like if I could be out there at every event, I would be. I love doing it. It's like it's funny, I don't really do too many things outside of like what I am doing, which is work, essentially, which I love.
Oh, I know. You're a horse.
But
You're a
the
workhorse.
thing is that I love what I do.
Good.
So
Damn
I'm
right.
not miserable, but I do like, it's like I'm gonna go and shoot and go to the range and hang out with you guys, and it's a release for me.
It's a treat.
So is there anything else that do you think that I missed?
Something I just want to know is like, I am so appreciative of like not only just our community in general, because we do have a pretty wide community now, but like our true regulars, right? Like those guys, I mean, Jacob, Eric. Brian, all those guys. I mean, you, because you're showing up more consistently now. I mean, all of you guys make Cactus Patch what it is. There's just a super chill group of dudes that are just trying to grind out skills, trying to better themselves at, today than they were yesterday. It makes me so freaking stoked to actually have a group that's not a bunch of wackos. They're not all spouting about politics. We're not spouting about conspiracy theories, like a lot.
maybe a little.
Like a lot.
But truly, like, when we're at the range, like, we're at the range. We're grinding skills. Yeah, we're talking crap, but it's like, it's just banter,
Yeah,
right?
it's fun.
Like, stuff like that, it makes me feel so stoked to actually, like, have a group of dudes that's, like, not out of this freaking world to have, and I know they're going to show up. I know they're going to perform. I know they're going to be a good time to hang out with, and it makes me so freaking stoked to actually have people like you in my life.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's fun. Our regulars really do make this worth it.
Damn
so,
right, dude.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
It's a good reflection of humanity. I would say,
Yeah.
because you get a lot of negative stuff a lot. So it's a very positive, fun experience, and that's, I'm excited to see how big you guys can grow it.
Yeah, we look
So-
forward to building the community one degenerate at a time.
Damn DJs.
Damn right.
Awesome. Thank you, Cam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks,
you guys.
guys. Appreciate you.
Awesome.